Hello, Internet friends. How about we get out of the Matrix? Let's be the glitch in the Matrix. This is Joanna Brumley coming to you at Trazine-free Neon Frog Productions. This is going to be my driving rant. The law of cause and effect. As I drive and talk, two words come to mind: nescience and ignorance. Nescience meaning not knowing something because the information is unavailable. Ignorance is having the knowledge and not using the knowledge. For instance, a person knows it's not right to cause harm or violence upon someone else if they are not causing violence or harm to them. However, they do it anyway. So I ask you, are we living in a society of nescience or ignorance? In other words, do we not know something because the information is unavailable? Or is the information available, yet we're not using it? Nescience or ignorance? I would say we are living in ignorance because this is the age of information. Anything that you want to know is available to you in today's day and time. So therefore, we are living in ignorance. We are ignoring the information available to us. And the law of cause and effect is simply the law that states that we reap what we sow. What you think about, you bring about. You are where you are today because of what you have been thinking about. Your thoughts have aligned up with your choices and actions. Simple as that. The law of cause and effect. This is a rocky road because it's an original brick road, so just bear with me. The law of cause and effect simply holds each and every one of us accountable for what has happened in our lives. It holds us responsible. So, why am I driving around ranting about the cause and effect? Well, I'll tell you. I live in the United States. And within the United States, I live in the state of Virginia. And as you know, we recently had the Second Amendment protest at the General Assembly in in Richmond, Virginia. Well, the legislation has gone and decided to proceed with their Second Amendment stricter guidelines. just saw vultures and stray cats hanging out together. That was crazy. I don't know if the video picked that up, but I think I'm going to turn around and check that out again. Anyway, so they did this, you know, they voted on it. They're deciding to go ahead and make it more strict for the citizens to purchase and have weapons of choice, protection tools, and all of that. So not only is Virginia dealing with the Second Amendment right, we are now going to have to deal with, you know, guidelines, stricter rules, will affect our First Amendment right, our Fourth Amendment right, and our Fifth Amendment right. Possibly more than that. Because once you give them that inch, the powers who just claim to be rulers over us can freely demolish all of those. Wow. That was crazy. So if we don't have the right to protect ourselves, then we won't have the protection that we need to say what we need to say. Authorities, the claimed authorities, will be able to come into your house without a warrant and take whatever they want, or simply ask you for an ID just because you walked past them. You will not have the right to remain silent, and so on and so forth. How does this relate to the law of cause and effect? Well, last time I checked, my voice box vibrated. The law of vibration allows me to talk. That is my right. Whatever it is that I earn, I possess. It is in my care. So therefore, I have a right to protect it. And if someone breaks into my house, I have a right to defend my family and myself. We need to know what the difference is between a right and a law. I have arms, I have legs, I have feet, I have hands, I have a neck, I have eyes, I have ears, I have a voice, just like you. And the purpose of those is movement. So therefore, I have a right to move. Period. Blanket statement. My neck turns, I have a right to turn it. My hands do many different things. I have a right to use them as I see fit. I can walk wherever I want to. I have a right to travel. A law is simply something that was created by a person in a fancy suit writing a rule down on a fancy piece of paper and holding you accountable to that law. Even if you never commit the crime that the law indicates, you are still bound by the law. This is what the authority will tell you. Well, those that are in authority are energy and consciousness. That's all they are, just like you. You are energy and you are pure consciousness. We are the microcosm to the macrocosm. We are a smaller version of the universe. Everybody on the planet is equal. And our politicians, our selected rulers say that they have a higher claim over your life than you do. That is simply false. Simply false. And since our actions by the law of cause and effect holds us responsible for how our life is turning out, it is ultimately our fault, yours and mine and everybody else's, for the freedoms that are being taken away from us right now on February 1st, 2020. As long as we continue participating in this fake left-right paradigm and putting our freedoms and lives in the hands of other people, we are going to constantly deal with things being taken away from us. New York City. If you want to go to certain parks, certain state parks, and you decide that you want to look up at the sky and view the stars. If you do not have a permit for stargazing, you will be fined. New York City. Have you checked out what happens in China if you don't have a good social score? Well, I've been talking about that for quite a while now. I just watched an updated video by Truthstream Media. It's called something like, do you know what your social score is? I suggest you go watch it. They do not have a Second Amendment. They do not have a First Amendment. They do not have a Fourth Amendment. You need to check that video out. What goes around comes around. And what affects the people of China affects the people of the United States, the people of France, Europe, Germany, Russia, Africa, everyone on the planet. We are all part of the same energy source. God is pure energy, God is pure consciousness and energy. We are the microcosm to his macrocosm. That is the law of divine oneness. So, what I do affects you, what you do affects me. And if we do not step up and just say no, we're going to look much like the controls and the rules that China has to follow. And I can guarantee you, we here in America will not like it. So the choice is ours. And it starts with us as individuals. We need to know the difference between moral and immoral. We do not know the difference. We need to start looking at our hearts. This is all a heart issue. Thinking about what we think about, and if we don't like what we're bringing about, we need to change our minds. Nobody has a higher claim over your life but you. Did somebody tell you to brush your teeth today? Did somebody tell you to eat breakfast? Did somebody tell you to leave your bed unmade? Did somebody tell you what kind of socks to wear today? If you answered no, in other words, you chose, then you chose freedom in those areas. That is a form of anarchy. No rulers. Do we need rulers? Do you need an adult mom and dad to tell you as an adult what to do? Don't think you do. So, we need to know, what is immoral? Does it cause harm and violence on somebody? Are we causing harm and violence? Am I doing to others what I wouldn't want done to me? Am I being manipulative? Am I trying to control somebody? We need to take a look at our hearts. We are bound by the law of cause and effect. And we will receive what we plant, because we will reap what we sow, together and as individuals. Thank you for listening. This is again Joanna Brumley coming to you from Neon Frog Production.